What is good? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pick Six channel. Let's talk about it, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers had an upset victory against the Indianapolis Colts. I feel like we get at least one or two of these a season. This was one of them. Okay. Steelers were able to win by a score of 27-20. It wasn't that close. Okay. I think it was Indianapolis getting 10 points out of more of garbage time. However, the score is the score. Shout out to the Colts. So far, they're having a really good season. They also did get Sauce Gardner before the trade deadline. That should help out the Colts defense. So, they're playing for now. They're clearly wanting to win now because, they did give up some draft capital for Sauce Gardner. However, for the Steelers, that's their best game that they've played this season. There's undisputed. That is their best game that they have played this season. Defensively, they looked really good. Offensively, they did good enough. I'm not going to say that they look great. I'm not going to say that they look bad. I think they did good. Nothing too significant there. I'm more impressed by the defense in this game. The Colts were averaging just over 33 points a game. After 9 weeks, they were averaging over 33 points a game. The Steelers held them to 7 for the majority of the game. The Colts were able to get 13 points in the fourth quarter, but again, 10 of those points, the game was pretty much already over. All I got to say about that is Steelers try not to let the foot off the gas towards the end of the game, because things can get crazy. Games can get crazy. Stuff can happen. We saw it with the Bengals and the Bears. The Bengals were able to come back. They wound up losing that game because the Bears were able to get a last-minute touchdown. But things like that can happen. Comebacks can happen. That's all I got to say there. The Steelers were able to force 3 interceptions. Daniel Jones threw 3 interceptions. One of them was from Joy Porter Jr. They looked really well. Defensive line making splash plays. This is what you want to see from the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Splash play after splash play after splash play. They took over that game. The defense did. If it weren't for the defense making plays like that, the Steelers wouldn't have won this game. Because, again, it's like the Steelers' offense was firing on all cylinders. They weren't necessarily clicking. Okay? They had that one drive. The Steelers had that one drive after a muff punt. They were in the red zone, and they couldn't even get any points going. That was in the first quarter. All right? The Steelers really controlled the pace of this game for the most part. Indianapolis did have a really good first quarter, although they just simply couldn't capitalize. You got to give credit to the Steelers as well for keeping it close in times like that. The Colts were dominating with the yardage. Steelers really couldn't pick up many yards. They were able to towards the late second quarter and definitely in that second half. But for that first quarter and a half, the Colts were dominating. Steelers actually turned it up in the second half, which is pretty much reverse and opposite of what we said last week. And as much as I want to be excited about this win, because I really want to be excited about this win, the Steelers do this all the time, man. It's textbook. I've said it before. They sometimes lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to, but they also have 1 or 2 wins where they beat a team that they're not necessarily supposed to beat. That's what happened here. Steelers played their best game of the season. Okay. Can they keep it consistent? Because that's what the Steelers struggle to do for some reason. They cannot stay consistent. That's really my only worry about this game, because other than that, there's not really much to worry about, other than the fact that the Steelers' wide receiver position doesn't have much depth. And they didn't pick up a receiver before the trade deadline. That's really my only concern. Jalen Warren didn't have the best game running the ball. He did have 2 touchdowns, good in the red zone. He couldn't necessarily get many blocks up front, unfortunately. Not that the offensive line was doing bad. Honestly, I think the offensive line has been at its best in years. So, yeah, offensively, when they didn't have their best game, defensively, they were able to pick it up for the offense. That was team football. That's really what it was. Can they continue on this? Because if they look like this against a team that they were playing, a top team at that, they're going to be a tough team to beat. That's really what it is, man. So what do you guys think about this win? I know I wanted to drop it on Monday, but I know it is what it is. What do you guys think about this win? How do you guys see the Steelers going into the Sunday Night Football game against the Chargers at SoFi Stadium, which I will be at? Okay. Can they compete? Are they legit, or do you have to see more from them? Personally, as a Steelers fan, I still got to see a little bit more. Okay, I'm not completely convinced in this team yet. I got to see if they could do this on a weekly basis. I know you can't expect the team to win every week, but just to show some fight, some spirit, and they did show that this week. So, yeah, that's all I got on this one. I will not go live for the game this week simply because I will be at SoFi Stadium. You guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section, and that's about it for this one. I'll catch you guys later, and you already know, go Steelers.